Hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and after that last run that kind of went so horribly poorly, I think what we're going to do today is refocus on something else. So I am going to do another critical hit build, but I'm going to, go into a little bit of detail about... Apparently my body just wants me to be embarrassed. Alright, so we're going to go into some detail about how critical hits work. And to do that, we're going to have ourselves a little bit of fun with a melee-based critical run. Now, we've talked a bit about how these work, but I haven't gone into explicit detail, so this seems like a good time for it. So, for starters, let's go ahead and assume that the base critical hit rate is about 5%. Now, it doesn't say that anywhere, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be the case. So, your base critical hit chance with any rogue, no modifiers or anything else like that, is about 5%. So far, so good? Alright. So then we would look at anything else that offers an added percentile bonus, like let's just say the analytical monocle. Analytical monocle would add 8% onto that, making it 13%. Then obviously the Awe Robe is probably one of the single best critical hit modifiers in the game, giving you a plus 10% to critical hit chance. So, for our purposes, this means that we have roughly a 23% critical hit chance. If I've done my... yeah. And that would mean that every about 3.7 roughly hits would be a critical hit, as you can see from how this is working out. Now, let's change things up a bit. What happens if you have something that offers critical hit scaling on a multiplicative level? That's where Dark Katana comes in. So what Dark Katana is going to do is it's going to triple your critical hit chance. So let's think about that. That means that at base you have 5%, plus the 10% critical hit chance for the Awe Robe would put it at about 15. So now we triple that for the Dark Katana, and we're getting about 45%. And that means that roughly every... let's see, just doing the math real quick. It's just like every 1.8 attacks are going to be a critical hit at that point. To which I say, hey, not bad. But Dark Sage, what happens if you get other things that multiply your other things that add to your critical hit chance? So here's how it works. Your base critical hit chance is 5%. And then anything that adds critical hit chance, like this or the analytical monocle or whatnot, will add on to that. So this is 15, let's say I get the analytical monocle, that'd be 23. But then anything that does multiplicative critical hit chance, such as the Dark Katana, will factor in after all of the additions. So by that standard, if I were to take the analytical monocle right now, that would put me at 23% base and then get multiplied by 3, which would be 69%. Nice. And that is a quick breakdown on how critical hit chances work. So, real quick on critical hit damage. Critical hit damage is normally like 150%, or in other words, an additional 50% damage on top of what you would normally do. So with this, I am getting 100. Essentially, the critical hit damage is 175%. So hopefully you're seeing now why these things are so important. Now that I've said all that, now let's go ahead and put a run together. And I think what we're going to do as... Let's see. I think what I'm going to do is we are going to... I don't want to do too much wind, though. Not that it really matters. Trying to think, what would be the best thing to use to act as a sort of stun effect? The obvious answer would be Spark Array or Twin Turbines. Spark Array, I think I passed a while ago, right there. But I guess the question is, do I want to go with Spark Array or do I want to go with something else? I think for my money, I am going to take Frost Fan. Actually, no, not Frost Fan. I'm sorry, I'm not going to say disorganized, just very indecisive. We are going to go ahead and take Twin Turbines. Well, that's a lot of electricity. Screw it. I'm okay with there being either a lot of electricity or a lot of wind, so let's have some fun with Gale Force alignments. I keep talking about how much I like it. Let's actually put it to use. And there aren't a lot of melee dash attacks, and the ones that there are kind of iffy. So why don't we just take a dash attack that's going to help keep us defended, such as Thunderline. And I guess we've got ourselves kind of a storm build going on here. Right, as per usual, I will be grabbing the retro floor plan. And the only place I can start is where I lost last time, which is the friggin' courtyards. And you know what? I'm gonna do that because I just want to get that out of the way. Immediate elemental summoners. I'm so lucky. Alright. So let's look. We have a few things that would work nicely, actually, and I think before I purchase the Gale Force alignment upgrade, I want to wait and see what else is available. And actually, I thought that the separate path was a different direction, so... Hey, you know, this kind of storm critical setup is actually working kind of nicely. And of course, the reason to wait on picking up the Gale Force alignments upgrade is because there's always the possibility that we could get Could you guys just go away already, thank you? Because there's a possibility that we could get some sort of improvement to that. And what I mean by that is, obviously I said it wrong, but there's always the chance that we could run into either Nocturne or Dr. Song, and I want to be able to give them something. Alright, breezy gray canvas is probably going to be a big help, considering what we've got going on. Bouncing Bubble. Always nice to have that. And as I figured, we were going to be running into Dr. Song. So she can take that. I will take that prescription bottle that I don't have a strong use for. Now let's grab the Gale Force alignment upgrade, and now we've got options. Do I want to take Perfect Storm as an example? Because that would lend itself very well to the whole storm thing that I have going on. Yep, I'm down for it. Let's give it a try. One thing that needs to be taken into account, of course, is that you need some control methods in order to make your primary damage sources even better. Alright, oh, and Surefire Rocket. Alright, got some good freebies. Yes, this Storm Mage build is very nice, and I am thinking I want to take the Cotton Candy, but first thing... Oh, and Ring of Reserves is real nice too, but first... I want to see what sort of upgrades are available from Iris, because I very much want the Wind Slash upgrade. That's kind of the big thing I'm looking for right now. Hello, what do we have over here? Mercenary's Dagger is nice, but I am going to be spending a lot of money for a while, and I get the feeling that just wouldn't work out very well. So I might end up not taking anything from him at all. Because I think it's just a little too early to be grabbing Mercenary's Dagger in the run. Lowering gold gain isn't exactly good for me either. And if I were running a Fueled Berserk, which I probably will be next time I do some Wizard of Legend recording, then that Bladed Cestus would definitely be a good thing to have. Okay, so there's that. That was our big find. Because now our Wind Slash does even more, and my goodness, will those extra hits add up. Okay, well that was just awful. So I hope that the explanation as to how critical hits work help some of you out. Like, I know knowing that the base critical hit chance is about 5% helps out a lot, because it helps me do the math much more effectively. Like, sometimes just having the numbers is a big get. Alright, so let's come back here. We're definitely going to want that. So I'm not sure I'm going to be holding on to the bubbles or not. I'm not sure if that's going to be as useful as I would like. Alright, taking some stupid damage here. Let's not let that continue. Alright, so now comes the decision. And I think... yeah, let's go for it. Because it is a pretty noticeable 25% difference in damage, and I want that. All right, that one worked out nicely. Funny game, you're funny. So over the last few days, while I've just been chilling, or days that I've been at work, I've been actually checking out the Prescription for Sleep album, which, as some of you may know, is the Wizard of Legend jazz collection, and some of those songs are actually really interesting, like way more interesting than what you get to hear in the game. Because in the game, you either only hear a few minutes of the track, or what you're hearing of the track is being completely covered up by all the other sound effects going on. But if you just listen to the tracks by themselves, they've got some really cool moments in the songs. Like it's really good music. Oh, thanks for making my job easier. Okay, what do we have up here that could be interesting? Okay, I see a number of things that could be interesting, but will they be? Like, obviously, as I find the vampire's eyeglasses, I'm gonna want the fangs to make the vampire's attire. Otherwise, what do I take? If anything. Because it's not like you're forced to take something just because it's there. Because it is not an impossibility for a cursed relic to make your run way harder than it needs to be. That's kind of the whole point of calling them cursed in the first place. Like, I'll just be 100% real with you, and you guys have seen it. I've lost plenty of runs thanks to the retro floor plan, but that's part of the payoff that you take when you go to pick that up. And for the most part, I'm fine with that. Like, you know that that's the trade-off that you're taking anytime you go to pick that up. So the real question is it worth it? And I think, not only just for the additional challenge, but all the extra resources you get because of there being double the number of enemies, I'd say, yeah, definitely worth it. Sorry, I'm trying to find where the rest of the level is, and I should have just taken a damn portal. Ranged control. Don't you love it? And what type of spells you like says a lot. It says a lot about you as a person. My preferences in Wizard of Legend also translate into my preferences as a Magic the Gathering player, interestingly enough. I'm a big fan of controlling relics. And actually, that's the latest deck that I've been working on. I think I told you guys already. I am working on a deck that specializes in using Keza, Augur of Agonies, in conjunction with Yawgmoth's Bargain. If you don't know what those cards do, look them up. I guarantee you have all the time in the world, because you can just pause this here video and just have a look for yourself. Yeah, that is very much my preference when it comes to Magic, is I love blue control. As a matter of fact, that was the very first deck I ever made way back in the days. I made a mono blue Merfolk control deck. It's still one of my favorite decks to play, but one of those things I don't play very often because, you know, when you're that player at the table, the one who loves playing the quote-unquote Mother May I deck, you tend to be the one that everyone wants off the field first. Oh, and before it comes up, no, I don't play Commander. I prefer traditional 60 card, even though most of my decks end up being about 60 to 60, end up being between 60 and 65. Okay, so now we've got... Ooh! Actually, Crystalline Ballestra might be a better option than the Bubbles. Because I could use something that really benefits from that damage boost from the Mercenary's Dagger. So that is something I will keep in mind. But in order to get that to show up... Oh, hey, look at that. Okay, so maybe I'll actually find something interesting from Nocturne. So let's go ahead and give him the Bubbles. And let's see what our boy comes up with. I mean, it's awfully hard to say no to that. Like, that's a game-winning move in and of itself. I really don't need anything else. Like, I'm not even thinking I'm gonna need the Bubbles for this one, so I'll just take the Ballestra. And you have bugger all that I want, so I'm just gonna buy a health potion. I would say a good control spell will definitely help you keep control of the field so that you can get in there with your melee attacks and make use of that Dark Katana, so... But I've shared my point of view on that many times. You guys already know this. Not gonna lie, this Storm build is actually kind of fun. Sweet. That was a beautiful fight. I could do that again. I won't, but I could. Alright, and then somewhat betraying the whole Storm Mage thing, let's go ahead and use the drill now. Okay, forgot to use Gale Force alignment again. That's embarrassing. There we go. Alright, we're pretty much set to go on that front, and I think we've pretty much got our final spread of Arcana. Now we just need to hope to find some better relics. And by better, I mean more relics. Because we could certainly use more damage, and hey, if we get lucky, more critical hit chance. I'm a little quiet right now just because I don't really have a lot to say at the moment. Like, I'm trying to think of fun stories that I could share, but I mean, today was a very average, normal day at work. I mean, aside from the idea that I had to carry my own route and then 2 other splits. So, hooray, labor shortage, but also just, you know, people calling off just basically people calling off. Which I'm not going to fault anyone for, because I've had plenty of days where I've either needed to or wanted to call off because, I mean, sometimes the right answer is just fuck it. I know that sounds really rude to say, but when they have you working 6, 7, 8 days in a row, sometimes you just need to be like, Alright, I'm going to do that because remember what I said about how critical hit chance works. But first, let's see if Anders has the, just by luck, has the right token. My guess is no, but... And he doesn't, but I do think I want that. Alright, we're going to be running a little dangerously low on money for a minute, so I have to avoid spending too much cash on anything else. Alright. And we're just gonna have to take a chance, because like I said, don't want to spend too much money. You gotta keep that Mercenaries dagger active. By the way, if you're wondering what the heck just happened in that room, I believe that was the game saying no to me. that was just me being stupid. Okay, so I don't want to go there. Like, I need very badly to find Anders before I find anything else, because the next room has a very strong possibility of killing me. You know, like that room. I don't like my options. I think I'm gonna have to. Oh, thank goodness. Now I feel like picking up the Vampire's Fangs was a bad idea. This is not going well. Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, I'm very much in a slump right now, so you'll have to forgive me for feeling a little defeated. But I hope that I was at least able to shed some light for you on how critical hits work. I think if anything, that's what this video is more or less going to be, is here's how critical hits work. And hopefully that will be enough to, you know, keep people from completely, you know, laughing me off as a wash-up. So thank you guys very much. I appreciate your continued support. Drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel to see more of my stuff, and I will catch you in the next one. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and I will be seeing you.